Did this last time. That's probably pretty good. Okay. Welcome to everyone getting here. All you need is a comfy spot. Just gonna wait a few more moments, probably another like 2 minutes while everyone is getting here. Ooh. Thank you for being here. So yeah, all you need is a comfy spot. Me, I have like a yoga block underneath my butt. It kind of props me up, allows me to get my shoulders back and be in proper alignment while I'm doing this breathwork practice. Ah, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll wait a few more moments for the reinforcements here. Here, maybe I'll scoot over a bit, get that out of the frame. For everyone catching the replay here, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you felt called, you can definitely drop where you're from inside of the chat here. So, so we can all send some gratitude and some love to where you're coming from. I appreciate everyone taking time out of their day to do this. Like I said, whether you're here live or whether you're here for the replay, makes no difference. The fact that you're here now is what matters. It's what counts. I feel like I'm not centered. Does it even matter? Hello from North Bay. Bonjour. Okay, so we're just gonna kick off here. Whoever's gonna be showing up late will catch us as we're going through this, and those who are here now, catching the replay. I don't want to make you wait any longer here, so I'm just gonna get along with it. So last week, I had us focus on something that we were grateful for, something that we wanted to cultivate more of. I think it was more of a gratitude than it was cultivating something. I'm glad you made it, Melanie. And I think during times like this, it's definitely much more challenging to find the things that we're grateful for when there's so much chaos that's going on around us. So one thing that, to honor that, because not everyone's experience is going to be the same. And I think it's making room for that and being okay with that when we ask someone how their day is going, they might have a different response than someone else, maybe that we know. Hello from Paris. So cool, Melanie. Thank you. And maybe taking a step back and allowing ourselves to maybe not focus on such an outcome of any outcome, rather just let things be as they are and just hold space for that. I think, it's in my nature anyway, that I always feel like I want to find a solution for things. And what I'm starting to realize is that the things that I'm trying to find solutions for don't need solutions. They just need to be embraced as they are, So instead of focusing so much on what we're grateful for, I'd like you to focus on something that you want to cultivate more of, whether that's patience, whether that's resilience, whether that's more love, whether that's stronger relationships, whatever it is for you. Maybe you want to cultivate more consistency inside of your practices. But I just want you to focus on something that you want to cultivate. And just maybe even close your eyes as you're thinking about that. And just pay attention to when you do bring that up within your mind, where do you feel that within your body? For me, I want to cultivate more patience for the process, especially in business. And I feel that inside of my chest. If you wanted to share where you're feeling that sensation and what it is you want to cultivate more of, you can drop it within the chat now. If you want to just keep that to yourself, that's totally fine. But I'm just going to now explain the breathwork practice that we're going to get into here, and then we're just going to get into it. So the breathwork practice that we're going to be doing is an equal parts breath in and out. So the one that we've been doing. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Alex. Yeah, so the breath, the equal parts breath in and out. So that's popularized as well as the Wim Hof method. I think there's like a certain ratio to seconds of in and out that that allow certain breath works to fall into certain categories. I think the Wim Hof breath is like 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, or something just shy of that. But what we're going to be focusing on is more of a slower pace of a breath. We're not really going to put a name to it, but what we're trying to do here essentially is just find a rhythm and a consistency within our breath. And I'm going to be guiding you through this entire process. How this is going to look, it's going to be 30 breaths. And then on our last breath, we are going to breathe all the way out. And then we're just going to hold. First round, we're going to try and hold for 30 seconds. Second round, we'll try and go for a minute. And then the last round, we'll try and go for like a minute, minute and a half. We'll just see where everyone's at here. And for those of you catching the replay, if you find yourself at like 45 seconds, within the second round, and you can't get to the minute mark, that's totally fine. Just allow yourself to just return back to your normal breath. Or you can do the breathe in at the end for 15 seconds and then just return back to your normal breath. Yeah, there's not much else to this. It's a pretty straightforward practice. If you want to increase the intensity of it, as you're blowing out your air, you can squeeze your abdominal wall and your pelvic floor. So the way I kind of think about that is I will squeeze from my upper abdominals and I'll simultaneously pull up my my pelvic floor. And one of the reasons I found that to be so effective, especially when attempting to get the most out of the breath, is that when we breathe, when we exhale and we do that squeeze, we're literally using the strength of our core and our diaphragm to essentially blow all of the air out, all the CO2 out of our body. And that's very beneficial because once all the CO2 is out and we're at the bottom of our breath and we go to take another breath in, we're going to be able to absorb much more oxygen. But that is more of an intense version of the breath. You can just allow yourself to just get into the ease of it. And the last thing I'm going to say here is I am not a licensed breathwork coach. I've been a coach for 12 years, helping people in the health and wellness industry. But I am not a licensed breathwork coach. I do this every day. I've been doing this breathwork practice for 2 years now, every single day. And one of the reasons I started this is because I want to share the wonderful benefits that I've been able to derive from it. So if at any point you start to feel lightheaded or you start to feel out of your body, just return back to your normal breath. There have been incidences too, that not with this version that I'm aware of, but more intense versions where people have like altered states of consciousness, or they kind of feel like they're they feel like a little lightheaded. You can also do this practice lying down. You don't have to be seated. I don't recommend doing this while driving. Thank you for sharing. Positivity and unity. I'm sure that's something we can all share here. Yeah, I do not recommend doing this while driving or operating any sort of heavy machinery. If you are doing this, catching the replay, please stop what you're doing, go to a calm space, or save this for later. But without further ado, we're going to get into these 3 rounds here. 3 rounds of 30 breaths. And I am going to cue you on everything, so you don't even have to worry about it. So we can get into our comfy space, we can relax our shoulders back and down, and we can think about that thing or 2 things that we're trying to cultivate more of within our life, and we're just going to start this breathwork practice. So I'm going to have you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And just follow that rhythm. All the way in and all the way out. Just find that rhythm. Fully in and letting it go. And just keep that going. Halfway. Ten more. Fully in. Letting it go. All the way in. All the way out. All the way in. All the way out. 5 more. Last one, all the way in. And all the way out. And hold. Good job to everyone who's in this right now. Keep going. We got 10 more seconds left. What are you cultivating? All right, we're going to breathe all the way in. And we're going to hold this at the top for half of what we just did, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way out. Round number 2, here we go. All the way in and out. Just go with that pace. And just keep it going like that. Great job, everybody. And again, if you want to bring that intensity on the exhale, think about simultaneously squeezing your upper core and pulling up your pelvic floor at the same time. All right. Good job, everybody. Halfway. Making that circular. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. Good job, everybody. 5 more. Let's give it all we got here. If you're feeling that lightheadedness, but you still feel safe, just go into it. Already here. Last one all the way in. And all the way out. 1 minute breath hold. Become aware of that stillness within you. And what we're thinking about here is just slowing our heart rate down as best as we can, just calming our nervous system. And just trusting that all of those breaths that you've done, you've thoroughly saturated yourself to this point. You may have never held your breath like this before, but you are capable of doing it. You're capable of doing anything you set your mind to. 5 more seconds here. We're going to breathe all the way in and hold for 15 seconds. While you're doing this as well, if you want to add another layer of intensity to it, you can kind of bring in some negative pressure and kind of push out a little bit. All right? And we are going to breathe out here. Last round here, my friends, 30 more breaths. Let's get this. All righty? Breathing in and out. And in and out. Just like that. Circular breath. Keep going into it. Doing great, Stacey. Halfway. Last 10 here. I'm going to be fully in the retention with you. Nice and deep circular breaths here. Almost there. Last breath all the way in. And then all the way out. Hold. 1.5 minute breath hold. .30 seconds left. Hold for 15 seconds. And release. From here, we just did quite a bit of work to cultivate this feeling. I don't want you to rush right now to describe what that feeling is in the chat. I just want you to feel that within your body. And before we get into this little bit of meditation here, I just wanted to say thank you and good job to you for coming here today and showing up, putting in that work that we just did to this point. So in the beginning, I asked you to think about something that you wanted to cultivate a little bit more of. I want you to think about that now. And do you notice any changes about how you view it from before as to how you're viewing it now? Maybe specifically where you can cultivate this. I want you to take it a step further and think about what cultivating this would do for you and what would it mean. Would it make things better? Would it bring more opportunity? Bring more ease, peace, fulfillment, or contentment? I know we hear this so often from so many coaches everywhere that, you can do anything you set your mind to and nothing's impossible. And it's almost like when we hear that so much that, and the things that we're working towards, maybe, they're taking a bit more time or maybe things aren't unfolding quite the way that we want to. And maybe we build up this narrative within our mind that maybe things aren't as easy as people claim them to be. Can I do everything that I set my mind to? Whenever these questions arise, it makes us question what's going on around us, what's going on within us, maybe. But as humans, we tend to complicate things, The animals don't think about those things. Nature doesn't have to think about those things. They just happen. They just are as they are. I want you to view yourself in that light of anything is possible and what that looks like for you. And not in some cliche way. Maybe it is cliche. But more importantly, what feeling is that cultivating within you? Whatever that feeling is, I just want you to nurture it. Accept it. Even if it isn't favorable, accept it. Doesn't mean you need to hold on to it, right? But everything comes into our life at perfect timing. is if we can stop for a moment and recognize that. Whatever you're cultivating more of within your life, allow it fully in. We're going to let that in by taking in a nice big deep breath, like we're opening up our front door. And nice exhale. Allowing that other door to open and for it to kind of just cycle through as it needs to, but we're not holding on to anything. I wish we could all share a space and be here together live in person where we could, we could have that human physical connection and seeing each other and seeing what's coming through. But I want to honor each and every one of you who are here live or who are joining for the replay. Thank you for being here with me, and thank you for sharing your time and opening yourself up to this experience. I know that breath work is, for some, it's a little esoteric, it's a little out there, but the benefits are solid and they're cited scientifically, But to put all that aside, I really love how something so simple can cultivate such a powerful feeling within us and also promote such tremendous health benefits, which is something we can talk about more, or I can talk about more on my social medias or on this YouTube channel. But thank you for being here. And I hope whatever you're cultivating, that you allow that to fully come in and you're not afraid of it, and that rather you embrace it for all that it is. And I'm sending each of you so much love. Thank you. And if you've enjoyed this, I'm going to be here next Monday. Same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time zone. I'm so happy to hear that, Melanie. Thank you for sharing that. And let's bring all these emotions that we've just cultivated, these sensations, into our week, and into all of our interactions, into our work endeavors, whatever it is that we're doing, and just allow that expansion, that good feeling to continue to move us forward. This might be something I do daily at some point in the future, because I do it every day. But until next Monday, namaste. So much love to each of you.